What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You got the almighty DJ CJ Flash back with a brand new live episode of I Remember That Song. And here to tell you all about it is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerry Dove.
CJ Flash, Dominus,
Ominous Dominus.
Peace in your hood, my brother. How you doing, man?
Oh, man. Everything is everything, my brother.
Everything is everything. That's a good place to be, man. I'm feeling good. You know, we haven't done this like 3 weeks.
It feels like forever, though.
It does. I've been excited all day.
Yeah,
to see you guys and to see our guests. Ooh. Ooh.
It's good stuff, man.
We took a little spring break, everybody, just in case you didn't know, but we took a little spring break, but we're back and we've got a great show for you. I'm Jerry Dove. I'm your host of I Remember That Song. We call it IRTS Live. The almighty DJ CJ Flash is here and going to take us on a musical journey. And speaking of taking us on journeys, there's Big Russ is here with us as well. What's up, Russ?
What's going on, sir? How are you doing? What's up, Flash?
What's going on, Russ?
How you doing, brother?
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a minute, huh?
I haven't seen you guys in like 37 hours or something like that, right?
Maybe.
We are, I think Ryan Nicole is going to join us as well, but we're going to get started with before she joins us, we'll get started with this whole thing because I don't want to waste a minute without having Shirley Murdock on there with us. But before we do all that, we got to see your shirt today. Let's see your shirt. It looks interesting. So let's see what you got. That looks like that new gear from the world famous.
Yes, it is. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Can you see?
Good music with a cassette on it.
Yeah, it is a cassette.
It is a cassette.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to see from here. So.
Okay. Side A says the world famous show. What's side B?
Side B,
yeah.
Famous World. Famous World.
That's nice. And that's I saw you guys selling those the other day at Stone Soul. And we'll talk about Stone Soul a little later on tonight after we're done with our interview, but we'll recap all of that. But I saw that. So people get your paper out and your pens out so you can know where you can buy one of these great shirts from the world famous. All right.
Love it.
So listen, tonight we have got a great guest. Like I said, I'm very excited to have her on. She is a legendary R&B and gospel artist as well.
Boy.
Is that right? Am I saying enough?
Yes, you're right.
Her big hits are As We Lay, Husband, Love Me Better Than That, or I Love Me Better Than That, and her rendition of Jesus in Love made me cry earlier today. I ain't gonna lie. Wow. I can't listen to that song by Lionel and Shirley without crying. I don't know why that song just gets Lionel when he's doing gospel.
That was Lionel.
Yeah, he's doing gospel. He's Lionel. You're right. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, say hello to Miss Shirley Murdock.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I need flowers behind
with you.
I was going to say.
I need some flowers.
You gotta kind of spruce it up a little bit, huh?
Ms. Murdock, can you come do a glam team behind me? Yes, look me up.
I like your t-shirt. That's really nice.
Well, thank you very much. We'll send you one in the mail. Tell us what size you want, and we'll send it to you.
Well, amen. Bless your heart and all your parts.
Trust me, all my parts appreciate the blessing.
Amen.
Yes.
I see it's gonna be wild tonight, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
You better just come on, just get on board. So look, we normally have my girl Ryan Nicole do this, but I'm gonna have to do this. You're watching IRTS Live. You can see us on YouTube. You can see us on Twitter. You can see us on Facebook. It's at IRTS Show, or in some cases IRTS Space Show. We're gonna be here for a few minutes, for an hour or so, talking to Shirley Murdock, playing her music, finding out about all the things she's done, all the things she's doing, having some fun. Make sure you tell all your friends to join us, and remember too that you can see us on Soul TV.
Soul TV.
Do you remember when? Soul TV is over there in the pond over in London.
You know what?
I say that every week. I'm always putting them in the pound.
Not in
I
the
put them
pond.
in the pond.
In the pond.
He says in the pound.
In the pond.
In the pond.
In the pond.
On the pudding. It's across the pond.
And all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Cheerio, hip.
Wait, hold on. Pinky, I can't hold this mug and do my pinky. But, so we're just gonna have to do like, here we go. Okay, like that. But check us out. You got time. Tell your friends to join us. All right. So Miss Shirley Murdock, thank you very much for joining us. I know you're back east. It's a little late at night, so we appreciate you staying up to have some fun with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Let's do it.
Beautiful records that are behind you. If I could do a solo shot, and I like it. I like your gold up there and your platinums, and like you just talk about what you got behind you.
Yeah, well, we've got let's see, right here that the reprise. That's with Roger. And then we got, let's see, Wild Gospel. That's with Ben Tankard. That's with the Jesus is Love. And I think if I move the camera that way, that is the gold record that I released. Right, my very first album. Old school album. Yeah. And that particular album went gold while I was touring with Luther Vandross. So that was amazing. Luther Vandross. Amazing. Yes, late great Luther Vandross. I tell you, he's such a wonderful gentleman. He treated me so well, and my husband and I were riding in the car, and I said, I'm feeling like a little nostalgia. I need some Luther. So we was riding in the car and just going back, listening to Luther and just enjoying his performance. And it was a live performance. It just brought back memories to us with that Give Me the Reason tour.
So refresh my memory. Did he have a name for his background singers?
There was Kevin, there was Lisa.
I know there was Lisa and Kevin. Was there a name?
He called them his divas.
There you go. Okay, the divas.
His divas. Yeah. And he dressed his divas well.
Yes, he did.
Wow. So you sang background with him?
Pardon?
You said, were you on tour with your solo album, or did you?
Yes, as a brand new artist. And when you think about it, as a brand new artist, having the opportunity to be out in front of Luther's audience, that was amazing. And like I said, the album went gold, and so it was very, very. It was just a most wonderful opportunity for a brand new artist to be out with Luther. Come on now, to watch him every night, and just a consummate entertainer, and to see how the people reacted to all the songs and the sound. And he would say, just like the record, and the people would go off because the music sounded just like the record. The background singers sound just like the record. And he was very meticulous about those things and really just wanted to give the people what they loved. And he never held back. It was just amazing.
Wow.
I used to say that his background singers sang like Janet Jackson's dancers. They were so meticulous and precise, and it was like they were dancing with their voices. It was amazing.
And he would do those things like the song about creep. He would count it off like 4 times, creep, 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 and they would just, and they would just follow him just like a conductor, And it was really amazing.
Yeah, he was amazing.
And they were actually great singers in their own right, because they each were solo artists as well.
Yeah, Lisa was ridiculous.
Yes, Lisa was.
Yeah, woo, her high notes, woo.
Yes.
I met Lisa one time. She sings with 2 microphones. She said one she sings for the effects that she does and everything like that, and one just for the regular singing. So. Oh wow.
Well, I say that's how you say, double your pleasure, double your fun, double good. Whatever she did, it was wonderful.
All right. Well, good. Well, see, somebody needs to update your Wikipedia page or something, because they didn't say nothing about you being with Luther on there, and that needs to be on.
You can't trust Wikipedia. Man.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But somebody needs to go ahead and putting it on that.
We don't need. We got Shirley Peter. We're good.
Shirley Peter. You're right. You're right.
And we have your show. You have your show as well.
Yes.
That's right. Now we've just corrected or just educated the entire.
There you go.
Human races out there watching. Hey, listen. Wait. Somebody else said, don't forget Ava Cherry.
That's right, Ava. Yeah. Woo. Yes.
That's right.
And his band. Oh.
Yeah.
His band was just crazy good.
Yep.
They were tight. They were tight.
Absolutely.
They used to when he would walk in front of the microphone.
Yeah, like. Yes.
I only saw him one time. Yeah. I only saw him once. I saw him at the Circle Star.
Yeah,
and the bars open.
Yeah, we were. Our concert was also in the round, so it was always there was never a bad seat when it's in the round. Yes.
Yeah, we used to have a theater around here called the Circle Star Theater. They have them across the country called the Celebrity Theaters, where where the stage is in the middle and it rotates.
Yes. I've been to yours, but it's been years ago.
Have you really?
Yes, when I was when I was with Zap.
Zap. Yeah, I saw Zap at Circle Star.
Yeah.
I know a little something about,
Okay, you know about the Bay Area.
About the West, about, Uptown and back down. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Shirley knows she did her work too. So look, enough about Luther Vandross. Let's talk about some of your music. CJ Flash, let's kick off this show with some good old Shirley Murdock music. Go ahead.
Got you covered.
It's been so long since I felt your tender touch. Wondering if you think about me much. I picked up the telephone and dialed your number 2 or 3 times. I need your company to satisfy what's on my mind.
Okay, before you say anything, Shirley, I got to laugh because you did it. You said dial the phone. And
Right. Ooh.
So,
You know how long ago that was, right?
all right, tell us about that
Nobody
song.
dialing these days.
No. Tell us about that song then.
Okay, so we were in the studio and we were thinking about me needing, an up-tempo song, and it started off No More, and we just kind of the production team, and I was a part of that with Roger Troutman and Dale DeGroat and Greg Jackson and Lester, our whole team, and we kind of kept working the song until it felt right. Back then, you just continued to work on the song until it felt right. And so the only mistake that I think we made is we should have called it Pick Up the Phone, because when it first started off, the song was called No More, and we just left it at that. But as we begin to work on it and change that hook, won't you please pick up the phone? That was really a hook. So we probably should have changed the name from No More to Pick Up the Phone.
Wow.
But it still worked.
Yeah, because you were known for so many of those ballads as your career grew, but that was a nice little up-tempo thing right there. So that was cool.
I think that was my first release, the very first single.
Wow.
The very first single, yes, was a dance tune. I think they were kind of still trying to figure out what to do with me. And it was a little scary for me, coming out as a new artist, because I didn't hear a lot of female vocals with really big voices, but what gave me comfort was I remember when Jennifer Holliday came out with and I am telling you. I said, okay, I'm gonna be okay. So that gave me comfort, somebody, because she had that church, that church vibe, just like I could identify with, and so our voices were big, and then listening to like the Clark sisters and people like that on the gospel side. I grew up in Toledo, and I used to go up to Detroit to a lot of the musicals and things like that. So I was familiar with the late Dr. Maddie Moss Clark and the Clark sisters and the Winans. And so I think my voice, I have a lot of Detroit influences, listening to Stevie Wonder and all those wonderful Motown singers. So we had a great time.
Detroit represent.
The D, you from the D.
Yes,
I'm from the T, Toledo, and then back down to the D.
It's amazing, Miss Murdock. As we're blessed with all these artists that come on our show. How many times we reference Ohio and Detroit?
And Detroit,
And Detroit. It's amazing. Yes.
A lot of
talk
talent.
about the artists, the big voices from that era. I'm Vesta, you always that was that same vibe for me.
She's from Ohio too. She's from Coshocton. God rest her soul. Yeah. She was a good friend of mine. I love Vesta.
Wow.
Oh yes, we miss her dearly.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Youngstown, Ohio.
Nobody asked.
Come on now.
I'm talking to Shirley right now.
Nobody asked you at all.
Hey Shirley, I was born in Youngstown, Ohio.
And guess who else was from Youngstown, Ohio?
Eddie
Beck from the Ohio Players.
Billy Beck.
He wrote As We Lay with Larry Troutman.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I got a ton of family. There must be 150 people named Dove in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Cleveland.
All
So
right.
yeah.
All
So I
right.
know a little bit about that. Right there.
So this is proving that everybody from Ohio cannot sing.
This
Not
is true.
everybody.
Oh, well, come on now.
This
Not
is true.
everybody.
Damn.
Not
See,
everybody.
Shirley, didn't I warn you about this? How the
Jared,
disrespect.
say, look, you have to have anointed ears to hear what you have to say, right?
That's what we. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What?
Did I help you, Jared? Did I help you?
No, I don't. Let me think like anointed ears to hear what I'm.
Anointed ears, see, to really appreciate.
No,
where
you
Jared's
did not.
coming from.
That's right. That's right.
CJ,
I
play
got
another
you.
song. Play another song, man.
She spoke about Jennifer
No
Holiday.
more
So
conversation. No,
here's the first curveball of the day.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
I am telling
Oh man.
you, I'm not going. You're the best man I've ever known. There's no way I can ever go. No way. No way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't wanna be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me.
Oh. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are.
I love it.
Man.
That
Boy,
song,
singing.
That song is as a young artist, and not really having a lot of hits at the time. It was always wise to do some covers, in the show, and that was one of the songs that I covered, and we got such a really nice response from the audience that we decided, well, since the audience has been, enjoying this, maybe we should go ahead and put it on one of the records. So we did. We put that on my second record, the Woman's Point of View album.
Can I ask a question about covers?
Sure.
So when you select your covers, some people they shy away from them because when you pick a big song like that, that you've had success with on the show, sometimes recording that is you don't get the same impact as you do in a live. How do you make that choice when you're choosing to cover a song for your record versus covering a song in your performance?
Well, I think you have to have a love and a respect for the song that you're doing, and I think it's important to keep to keep it intact. I don't think you should veer off too far, especially in the beginning. It's just like when I'm singing. Actually, something I learned from Luther, where he said, "Just like the record," So I think it's important to, when you hear a song and it becomes your favorite, and then you come to hear it live, you don't want the remix. You want what you heard in the record that you bought, and you want to be able to appreciate and sing along with all those chops. Now, I think it's okay to veer off in the vamp. You can vamp off and really get down in the vamp, but I think it's important to keep the song intact because people want to hear the song that they love. So out of respect for and the love that I had for that song, I didn't really veer off until like in the vamp, feel it in my heart when the fire starts. I know you love me. So I put my own feeling and into it at that point. But I think it was important in the beginning to give the people what they love and what I love. And I think if I can feel the song, I believe then the people can feel the song, because I think what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So that's my take.
Yeah,
nice. Now, did you do some other covers on some of your other albums, or do you do a selection in your shows or anything like that?
I've done Whitney Houston, I'll Always Love You. Let's see. And I most recently did a cover of People Get Ready. People get ready, especially during the time of the pandemic. I thought it was something that people kind of really needed to hold on, something positive. And so I always try to put something positive into the airwaves. I think because people take the time out to listen to what you have to say. And I think that you should say something important enough to make life better. I have no problem with singing about life, but don't just sing about life just for the sake of singing about life. What about the story? What's the moral? What's the lesson? So because words are so important, I believe that words are spirit and life, and you have the power to speak life into somebody's life with your words, or you can speak destruction. If you tell a kid he's no good over and over again, that'll get into that kid's spirit, and they'll think I'm no good, I'm not lovable. But if you tell them, you know what, you can do anything. The world is your oyster. You have the ability. And today with the internet, there's so much information that young people can get, you know. So you always want to encourage a young child. Even naming a child, I think, is very important, because you're almost prophesying over their life, speaking into their life of what they're going to be and who they're going to be, and also a standard for them to live up to. So I think it's really important to not name our kids after alcoholic drinks, you know. You know, but just, I think, you know, powerful name your kids something powerful, you know.
No Hennessy's, no Alizés.
Come on now, come on. You know, you go to school and, you know, say, well, why? Well, what was mom thinking? What was she drinking at that time? You know? But that's just my personal opinion, okay?
Hey, Mad Dog, bring me that paper.
Right. Lord Jesus.
Mad Dog in the first grade.
Help the poor boy.
You see how she put the clamps on your nephew Hennessy, right? From the very beginning. That's the first thing she did. Hennessy.
Lordy.
What I do like, though, is that
they call it Henny for short, right?
Right.
Henny Dove, little Henny Dove.
But see, to tag on to what you were saying, Shirley, sometimes you need to speak encouraging word to adults as well, and let them feel better about themselves. Russell, TJ, and Shirley.
Okay.
Y'all calling you out too.
Speak. Let me have it. Give me all of it. Yes.
Now listen, everything you just said, though, is beautiful. And part of the reason why you can speak so eloquently about that kind of thing is you are a pastor as well, right? Let's talk about that.
Yes. Okay.
Let's talk about your work with the church.
All right.
You and your husband.
Well, my husband and I, we pastor an online ministry. It's called Praying for You Ministries. And our website and our Facebook page is Praying for You, PRAYING, the number 4, YOU.org. And it started about 13 years ago, maybe like 14 years. And it just started off with a Wednesday noon prayer. The people calling in all over the country for prayer from noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. And that grew into a prayer wall every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from noon until till 1. I usually man the one on Wednesdays. We'll put it out on our Facebook page, our social media, and say it's prayer time. Does anybody need prayer? You know, we're going to put our faith with your faith and trust God for the answer. And so, and then that grew into having even like one of our ministers does the prayer wall on Friday nights at midnight and Saturday nights at midnight. Wow. You'd be surprised how people need, you know, they're in need. You know, we talk to people who are, you know, on the verge of suicide, you know, ready to give up, people going through anxiety and depression, or, you know, needing encouragement in their marriage with their children. People need, they call in for healing for, you know, people dealing through cancer. And we have so many testimonies, we call them praise reports, where they'll call back and let us know, you know, that God has really moved in that area. But we also pastor a brick and mortar church, Second Baptist Church in Springfield, Ohio. That's the church that my husband grew up in. So he just recently became the pastor the first of the year, and I became his assistant. The church is over 160 years old, and I'm the first female ordained and licensed minister, and the very first female assistant pastor. So
nice.
We're growing, and it's been a wonderful journey. Yeah, well, very busy.
Then you definitely can't have no kids named Hennessy. You doing all that, so that would not be.
We were never friends.
But I tell you what, I may call in one night. I need some little help with little Cavassier needs some help. I may call.
I will be right there, baby.
I may call.
You and Cavass, okay?
Yeah, me and Cavassier, we're gonna be on there.
Jesus Cavass.
Yes. we call it CV. We call it CV.
Okay,
That's what we call it.
Tell that girl. Tell her to call on Wednesday when I'm on. Okay.
I'm gonna tell her to call early. Be the first one in line on Wednesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work.
All right. Yeah, you're watching IRTS Live. That's I Remember That Song Live. I'm Jerry. There's CJ Flash. Here's Big Russ. And our guest tonight is Shirley Murdock. CJ, play some more of that good music from her, please.
Want the sunshine throughout the lifeline.
Y'all went way back.
You made my day. You came my way. You you did. You brought the sunshine.
The sunshine. Yes. Oh, DJ, you went way back on that one. Okay, that was a celebration for Electra. I think it was 100 years or 50 years. It was called Rubaiyat. And so a lot of the artists, did covers of other songs, and I had the pleasure of doing that Clark Sister song, "You Brought the Sunshine." And as a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know that I was actually on Twinkie Clark's very first solo album called Power, along with Marvin Winans was on that album as well, and the sisters. So to be able to do that song, I was really, really honored. I love the Clark sisters. They're my girls. And You Brought the Sunshine, and you went way back in the way back. Look at that one. I haven't heard that in so long.
Nice. Well, it sounds good. It sounded good. Flash, keep it going.
I got you covered. Here's one. Let's see how long ago you heard this one.
Before you left me, I had it all. You were with me, and that was enough. He came along, and I forgot all about you. I was a fool, but I was enough. Because you, my world came to an end.
You brought it all together again.
I know there's no way I can go
without you. Wow. Well, I heard that a couple of days ago because I sung it.
Nice.
I was on a cruise with Cupid. Cupid and I have a song together called "Two Step on My Haters," and he actually had a cruise, and we went from New Orleans and went to Cozumel, Mexico, and I had a chance to sing that with him. Two Steps on My Haters with him. I did, Husband Going Without You, As We Lay, but Going Without You was a song that was not originally supposed to be on my album.
Really?
Really, it was not written for me. Roger was out on tour, I think either with Rick James or Prince at the time, and I was commuting back and forth from Toledo to Dayton, working on my album and everything. And so that one of the producers just had me do some background singing on the hook. You left, my world came to an end. We did that. So okay, we'll just do some ad-libs in the vamp. So I had no idea what the song was all about because I never heard the verses. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, well, to me, an ad-lib is just trying to really embellishing what the story could be about. So I imagine, I wasn't dating anybody at the time, and I said, well, the most important thing to me that if I could lose, that would just break my heart, would be my relationship with God. And what would be the most important thing to get back if you lose it? It would be my relationship with God. So for me, Going Without You was gospel. So I was going crazy, I want the whole world to know, no way, all that, And so when Roger heard it, he said, okay, this record's going on Shirley's album. And that's when I got the verses. Before you left me. So, it's telling the story. I think one thing about the music back then, we didn't have videos to tell the story. We had to use music. We had to use lyrics. We had to use tone. We had to use the way we emphasize a turn a song, a word, and put feeling on it. So we caused the listener to create their own video, and so it became personal. But I think that's one of the things that's missing in the music today. Just that using and there was no cut and paste. It was you sung every note, you stacked the vocals, everything we did, we had to do it. So, and it was really like an artist working on a canvas, stroke by stroke, whether it was with the music, whether it was the keyboards or the guitar or the percussions or the background vocals, everything was like really meticulous. And I think that's something, I mean, it's good to make a record fast, but the artistry. I learned under Roger Troutman to love the artistry, the creativity of it all, you know. And then when it gets out to the people, for them to hear it and respond and love it and sing along, or like even like I was walking through the airport and I heard we passed by Five Guys, my sister and I, and we heard Computer Love, and we looked at each other. So to know that your music is touching people, and hear people singing along with it, that is probably one of the most awesome gifts that an artist can receive, is to be able to see the people respond to what it is they've created.
What is that like when you're in front of 12,000 people and you could literally put the microphone down and listen to them sing your song back to you?
It's crazy. It's fun. It's amazing. It's amazing because even like that's over the weekend, you know, I really don't really have to sing. I'm gonna sing, but you know, but they're singing every chop. I mean, how many times did they listen to it to know every riff? You know, with husband, you know, a fool for any man. That man has got to be mine. They husband, they know it. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's like what a wonderful gift they give back to you as an artist, to say, I listened and I learned and I love, and I'm going to give it back to you.
Yes. And maybe one day soon they'll be singing Two Step on My Haters back to you as well, right?
Yeah.
CJ, I wish you,
That's right.
CJ, please tell me you get that one,
just
CJ.
go two-step on my haters. Everybody got a hater out there.
Well, yeah. I'm saying, CJ, do you happen to have that?
I'm gonna find it.
Okay, all right.
Two-step on my
Again, not on the Wikipedia page. I know that now. I know you can't trust it. Nothing on there about that.
Two-step on my haters.
Two-step on my
Cupid,
haters.
y'all know Cupid from the
We
Cupid
know
cell
that.
phone and everything.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Y'all do it different in the Midwest. We don't have songs like that out here on the West Coast.
Yes, we do.
Okay, y'all ain't got no haters on the West Coast, huh?
Oh, that's not true. but yeah, it's more like the E40.
That's why you need to know what to do.
No, we got them though. We have them out here. It's just not. They're not anthems yet. You know?
Yeah, we're not writing songs about them like that, but maybe we should. You know.
Yeah, we try not to give the haters any ink. So
when you listen to the words, you have a great appreciation for the song.
Got it.
Okay.
You know what? We might be able to do it right now.
Go for it then.
Let me see what I could do. Give me
He's a music director. That's what he does.
Let me just.
I come in on the second and third verse.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
let's go.
We'll get back to that.
Yes.
We'll get back to that. All right. So listen, one of our guys, it's a kind of our fifth Beatle, our sixth Temptation, D minor. We call him the Brown Encyclopedia Brown Tanica. He always got the questions that go back. So he said that he loved the song Power. We're just listening to that the other day. And then a little earlier, he was asking if you ever run across a Miss Anita Baker in Toledo and Detroit and all that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, Anita Baker, a lot of people think that she was born and raised in Detroit. Anita Baker was born in Toledo. So she's a Toledo girl.
All right.
Yes. And so Anita and I were on the same record label, Elektra Records. And the gentleman who was the president over the black division at that time wanted us to know each other. So he put me, Anita, and Howard Hewitt together so we could meet and know each other because we were label mates. And it's been years since I've spoken to Anita, but back when we were label mates, I remember doing a gospel play in Detroit, and she invited me to her home, and this is when she was pregnant with her second son. And so my son and I, we went and visited and everything, and I actually went to go see her one time in Cleveland in the round at the Celebrity Theater in Cleveland, and she called me up to sing with her, you know. And she was actually, and when I received my gold album in New York at Madison Square Garden, we were sold out on the Luther tour. I think it's like about 4 nights, and she came the same night that I received my gold album. So Anita is just an amazing artist. Her voice is just velvet. You know, very. Oh man, she's just. I would love to catch up with her again. So Anita, if you're listening, I love you, girl. But,
Anita listens every week. She watches the show every week.
Okay.
She does.
She's amazing. So yeah, we were label mates. She and myself and Howard Hewitt, and Howard Hewitt and I actually did. Well, I don't know, DJ may know about this. we did a double A side record. My gospel song that was on my first record called Tribute, and Howard Say Amen.
Say
It's a
amen.
double A side.
Mhm.
So we were at
Yep.
label mates.
Yep.
And then
on
we
a-
did a
that
little
was
tour
on
together.
Electra
Yeah.
Records.
Electra
Yeah.
Yes.
Records,
Oh,
right.
so you know.
Yes, I do know that
Yes.
Mhm.
for sure.
Y'all really
Big.
did do your homework. I
We
see.
tried
Yeah,
to.
well,
Blind man.
well, you know
To
what?
his wife that could not hear.
We are music lovers. We
Mhm.
Yeah.
do we
I can
joke
tell.
around and we clown a lot,
Mhm.
but we are music lovers to the core. With Ryan and with Tracy, the other ladies who were on the panel, it's
Mhm.
just so much fun because we all love music. So we get a chance to celebrate this with the people who we interview, and we find that we have a commonality. We talk about the first songs that you bought. Like, what was the first song that you bought with your own allowance? And
Yeah.
there's a lot of commonality between all of
Yeah.
us here, and it's all rooted in our love for music. So,
And it
but
brings back great
this guy up
memories too,
here,
right?
yeah, this guy up here though, he's the best in the business. He's
Wow.
you name it, he's got it.
Mhm. And if he ain't got it, give him a second. He'll go find it. So find us another one, Flash. Go ahead.
Speaking of finding,
Just waking up and putting my feet on the floor. That is a blessing all by itself. Yes, I ain't gonna let nobody steal my joy. That's up to me and God and nobody else. No matter what you do on this side of heaven, somebody's gonna be mad. Let me show you something new. Let me show you what we gon' do. It's gonna make the devil good and mad. So we just gonna two-step
on my hater.
Yeah.
How about it, y'all? How about it? Is that all right?
I'm not
That's,
I see
that
you
sounds
over
fun.
there,
That sounds like it's a lot of fun. That sounds
is.
fun.
I'm channeling my inner two-piece linen suit right now. I'm feeling
Chicago
it.
two-step.
It's coming right now. I can feel it. But now later Gators, my little hat.
Come on now. Come
I'm
on.
ready to go.
Break that brim.
I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
Sunday
Yes.
afternoon fish fry.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Nice. That was nice. Good job, Flash. Give us another one, bro.
Oh, this is what I had queued up first. Hold on.
Okay.
Flash, crack yourself up.
Come to me, baby. No, there's no need to worry. Kids are all asleep. Yeah. I know you want me just as much as I want you. I can see it in your eyes. Oh, just
Your mind.
Slow and easy
Slow
is
and
the
easy
way.
is the way I wanna love you tonight.
I just sung with Shirley Murdock. Did y'all
Yes,
hear
you
that?
did. And I just sung with you.
Happy,
Ain't
joy,
nobody telling
joy.
we can't sing together now.
Happy,
too.
happy. Yeah, I just a little lower than yours, but I let you sing loud. I just kind of. Oh, that's a good
We
song.
felt the anointing.
Did you feel the
Oh, man.
We
anointing?
felt the anointing.
For those of you who had
See,
missed it earlier in the show, Shirley Murdock said, "You must be anointed to hear my voice when I'm singing." So
To appreciate it. See,
I
Appreciate
think that was a compliment.
It was
It
a
was.
compliment, brother.
it was absolute compliment.
Russ said, "No, look at Russell. You see him, Shirley?
Well,
Look at Russell."
I said it was. I said it. So
Okay, if she said it,
Then it is true. Then it is so.
but she's only here for 1 week. We hear him try to sing every week.
Okay.
So
okay. I understand. I got you.
we waiting on the
Oh.
anointing to catch up with us. So
Right. I got you.
All right. Anyway, back
Yes,
to Shirley.
slow and
Back to
easy.
Shirley. Yes.
Slow and easy. I remember going to the studio with Roger with that particular one. And a gentleman by the name of Ronnie Diamond was also singing on that. And it was one of those songs, that actually the words kind of really tell you the story. It said, just unwind, just take your time. Sometimes, with all the hustle bustle going on in life, a husband and wife, a couple, they need to come together, just take their time and just appreciate each other. So it's that type of song to kind of set the mood for really enjoying each other's company.
Mhm.
And, I want to love you slow and easy, with not being in a hurry. Just take our time. So I think it's important.
Very.
Yes, it is.
Now, did you help Roger write some of these songs, or did he do it all?
I did.
Or? Yes.
Well, I have some writing credits on a lot of the songs. That's another thing about Roger as a producer.
Mhm.
He was also an artist, so that made him an artist sensitive. So I was very appreciative of that, and he always encouraged me, to write. So I've from the very first album to the last R&B album I did, I was writing songs along with him or co-writing with my husband, Dale DeGroat, who's Roger's music director and keyboard player. And the last record I did on Elektra, Dale and I wrote and produced probably like over half of it. So, and then I also co-wrote Computer Love with Roger. I wrote the verses to Computer Love. So he was always encouraging me, to write. And I hung out in the studio with him, whether I had a session or not, because I love the artistry and the creativity of the art. And so he taught me, I remember he asked me to move to Dayton because I was living in Toledo when I signed my deal. He asked me to move to Dayton so that he said, you're used to singing in church. He said, I need you to move to Dayton if you're going to make this record, because I didn't teach you how to sing in the pocket. And, and I became a pocket queen, baby. I could live between that foot and that snare, hanging out with Roger. And, I was part of the production team. Whenever we would finish records, I was singing on anything that Roger's working on. We all, contributed and worked on it and sang background or did music. And when it was time to finish a record, it's like, okay, it's time to mix. We'd be locked up in the studio for days, come out smelling like chicken soup. So, because he needed the background singers, we would just hang out in the lobby. Nobody would go home because as he's finishing record, maybe he might need a few more background vocals. He might need this or this. So we're always available. And sometimes we all hands on deck. We're all mixing, pushing buttons and things like that.
Wow.
So it was very a hands-on experience learning from just a musical genius.
Wow, that's fantastic. Fantastic stories here.
Wow.
Thank you so much for these stories, Shirley. I feel like I'm in the studio with you,
Yeah,
Amen.
we talked about covers earlier. Roger picked some really good covers too.
Yes.
So,
I have a favorite. My favorite is I Only Have Eyes for You.
Wow.
Yeah,
It just it feels so, and then so much so I said, Roger, I love that track so much, make me a song. And so he made a track from the second album, A Woman's Point of View, called Oh What a Feeling. It's got that same feel. So if you check that out, Only Have Eyes for You, and I said, make me, I would love that song. So I said, make me a song like that.
Think about it till you just said it. Wow.
Yeah.
What a feeling.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. Yes.
My favorite cover of his is Grapevine, the long version of Grapevine. That was, I was a kid. I remember listening to that one radio station we had here played the whole thing. And it was, oh my God, it just kept going and kept going and kept going.
Can you imagine being on stage with him singing in the background while that song was going on?
No, I can't imagine.
I can imagine. I can imagine being in the audience watching it go down. I can imagine.
Yeah, magic.
So tell us about his work with that talk box, because there were a few people doing it when he was out there at that time, and now it's turned into a whole different thing. But he was one of the big people you think about when you think about that talk box.
He mastered it.
Right? Yes, he
did. He mastered the talk box, and I remember. Over the years, the talk box evolved. If you listen to it, the talk box started sounding more human.
Mm-hmm.
You started being able to understand the words more. That's because Roger would have me sitting next to him and I would sing, and then he would mimic what I did vocally with the talk box.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And so if you really listen, probably Computer Love was when it really started, evolving. Yeah. And so, like note for note and things like that, or some of my riffs, the talk box he could do it with the talk box, because he would play it. And if I'm sitting right there, I'll say, no, it's more like this. So we can kind of like tweak it, But it was amazing. We had a wonderful music marriage, Roger and I together.
Mhm.
And I remember when I had a greatest hits album come out, and I was traveling. I was on tour with a play, and my husband came to pick me up from the airport, and it arrived at our home, and he played it for me, and I cried. I'm like, you cannot remove Roger from my music. It's so intertwined, and it took me a while, after we lost him, to be able to listen to the music and not be sad. I listen to the music, and it's like, if I cry, it's tears of joy of being able to have somebody like that to be such a rich part of my life. My life, the trajectory of my life changed because of him and because of Larry Troutman. He taught me he left some great nuggets that I'm still chewing on in my life today. One thing he said, when As We Lay was on the top of the charts, he said, baby girl, he said, that record can't stay up there. He said, I need you to talk to me. And when I went to talk to him, he said, okay, right now, As We Lay is on the top of the charts. He said, the record company, they love you. You are the best thing since ice cream. He said, they'll name their kids after you. He said, but that record can't stay up there. He said, when that record comes down, there's another record waiting to take its place. He said, and when your record comes off the charts, he said, you'll be lucky if they accept your phone call. He asked me, he said, do you want a career or do you want a hit record? He said, this is what you do. You make a great record. You do a great live performance. He said, but this is the key. Hear me good. This is the key. He said, stay touchable to the people, and they will support you for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Nice. And I know it's true because it happened for him. Even though he's gone, people love Roger.
Oh yeah.
And whether I have a record out, I've never had like my As We Lay was I think the only record that actually crossed over, into mainstream. And it was like, I think it was like a top 30, something like that. But on Jet, that record stayed number one for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
Right next to Luther Vandross, right next to Melba Moore, next to some of everybody. It would not move. And then I think something came out in Jet some years ago. Aretha Franklin, who I loved growing up, I thought I was Riri. But Aretha Franklin and I were the top female artists on Jet, like for their, over the years. And to be, with somebody who was my idol, to be right next to her there was amazing.
Wow.
But over the years, I found whether I had a record, it wasn't about being number one on a record chart. It's being number one with the people. Yeah. Being somebody's number one artist. And so it taught me that I'm in the red. So when I come across the fans who want to take a picture, who want to sign an autograph, you always take time for the fans. Because I couldn't do what I do, first of all, because of this wonderful gift that God has given me, but just the appreciation for the fans, because I get to live my life every day doing what it is that I've dreamt of doing as a little girl, Shirley, growing up in Toledo. I get to live my life every day doing what it is that I love to do on the backs of people who may be going to a 9-to-5 that they hate. But they support me, whether it's the record, whether it's the concert, whether it's coming to the stage plays, And so I'm grateful. It keeps me grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful and humbled to have the opportunity to do what I do. And I never want to take it. I never want to take God. I never want to take the people. I never want to take even platforms like yours. Give me the opportunity to speak these words and say, thank you, everybody. I appreciate all you've done for me over these years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I never want to take any of it for granted. I have been blessed and I am thankful. So very thankful.
How can you not love Shirley Murdock? Come on now.
Wow.
Come on, man. So can I go back to the talk box again? I know that was beautiful what you just said, but I'm kind of a silly guy sometimes, That talk box, all I think about is how unsanitary that thing must have been. Whose job was it to clean that? Whose job was it to clean that out at the end of the show?
The crew, and I mean they would always carry Listerine, something to always disinfect it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, did he have multiple, I guess,
tubes?
Yeah, that just replace them?
Yes.
He could work them out,
Because that would be pretty nasty.
Right.
Keep using that, yeah. But yeah, he always had extra tubes.
Now, speaking of which, the part of Roger's genius with that talk box is the people prior to him used mostly guitars, and he figured out how to route it through his keyboard. That is what took it somewhere else.
Yeah, it did.
Nobody was really doing that with a keyboard like he did it.
Yeah, he did. He actually did. My husband can really tell you the ins and outs of how he did it. But he and then he went from using the Moog to a smaller keyboard. So as things progress, we went from cassettes to CDs to DATs to now streaming. It went from the Moog to like a just a smaller keyboard. It just became more convenient instead of carrying around a great big Moog and it get out of tune if you drop it or do the wrong thing with it. It just became more convenient and for him to use a smaller keyboard. So even that evolved.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the Zap show over the years.
You're muted, Russ.
I've seen the keyboards that they use. It's a smaller Korg keyboard, about this big, and I see how they maneuver. It's great. It's really great.
There's a good footage of There's good footage of him on Donnie Simpson's show.
Yeah,
where he brought it out and explaining actually how he used it and why he converted to the small piece.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
And a lot of people may not know Roger could play every instrument.
Yeah.
And I think I was with him one time on Donnie Simpson, and he brought out a guitar, but I don't know if it was just an acoustic guitar or a banjo. He started playing the theme from the Beverly Hillbillies. And Roger was silly.
Yeah, he was.
I would love him to do that Donald Duck voice. Have you ever heard him do that?
Yes, I have.
Oh yeah, and kids loved it, and I loved it, and he was just his whole thing was he wanted to make people forget about their troubles while he was out there entertaining them, and he was very gracious on stage. He let you come out. He only had one requirement: do not bore my fans.
Right.
Don't bore my fans. But he didn't have a problem with anybody coming out, going out front, And when he asked me to come out and sing backgrounds for him while I was recording my record. And I considered to go because I thought it was going to be great, just a great opportunity to watch somebody who's already doing it, learning from somebody that's because I'm getting ready to be an artist myself. And so, but while I was out with him, I handled his interviews and, television, radio interviews, things like that, which was also good because watching him, with his interviews and things like that. I also met a lot of the people from the record company, the district people who were going around dealing with the records. And so by the time my record came out, I knew club owners. It was I was not so green, when it was time for my record to come out, and so it was a great opportunity to not only sing background but to glean from him as just a wonderful artist. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of Zap, we're taking this show, kind of sorta, to Cabo this November, and Zap is in the lineup.
Wow.
My fellas here, Russ and CJ, will be your DJs for the weekend. We'll do a little part of this show down there as well. So
they're gonna love it. They're gonna love it.
Zap is still a lot of fun. They they bring the little changing room out onto the stage and just nonstop energy. Big Rob and all those guys. It's crazy, man. So
well,
I'm sure Roger
I think
would be
Larry's vision for Zap was like a 3-ring circus.
Yep.
This and he did it quickly, then something else. And it's just so much. Yep. And it's not until you see the Zap show more than once that you can actually grasp everything that's going on. Right. So it's like never a dull moment, and it continues to evolve. Like I said, my husband's the music director, and he's has a lot to do with the choreography and things like that. Wow. So hopefully, maybe I might get a chance to go to Cabo with you.
I hope you do.
Come on,
Cletus. Come on, Cletus.
Come on.
I just want to go. I just want to tag along, y'all.
There you go. Wow. Flash, what else you got for us now?
Here's a curveball.
I used to be an innocent girl. Lord, what you mean is not for me. You broke my heart. You took all of my money. Yes, you did.
Why?
sweet. I'm home, but it's good though. I got ice cubes in my face. You can be, if you need, I'm real not to
DJ, see that? CJ, you the man, okay? I definitely dub you the man, okay? You went way back. Girl, cut it out. That was the very first song I think people heard me on with Roger. And that was also a song that we performed live on stage, and we had like a little battle going on between me as a vocalist and Roger during the talk box. Wow. And so he would do a little bit and I do my little bit, and the guys would get behind him and the ladies would get behind me. So we had the battle going on, and of course I won.
Yes, you did. Of course you did. Of course you did.
But it was so much fun. There's some YouTube videos too that would have some of those things on there too, that people get a chance to see it.
Now, I was playing that song a little earlier today just to refresh my memory on it. It sounds a little bit like it was Prince influenced. You hear any of that in that?
Yeah, probably, because there was during that era, a lot of artists were influenced by other artists, So I think
nice.
So.
Yes, nice.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry, Flash had a moment there. We had to give him a moment.
You didn't hear it?
It's in the song.
No, I just heard you, bro. I
heard
the song. I was anointed by your ears, man.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, Jerry. Sorry.
No. I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm doing 10 things at once over here.
Anointing only goes so far.
I'm doing 10 things at once. God knows I'm doing 10 things at once over here. Keep the music going, Flash. Get them off me, Flash.
There's something you bring to me, a feeling of love and harmony, and the fulfillment like I've never known from no one else. You give me all that a woman needs.
Oh, what a feeling! Oh, what a feeling! That's the remake from Only Have Eyes for You. Yeah, if you listen to that, you'll hear it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the song. That was a request, and he honored that for me and gave me that song.
Gotcha.
You did not pretend on any of your songs. You gave everything full voice for every single one of your songs. How do you protect your voice?
Well, first of all, it's a gift from God.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up singing in church, so we had to hit it first thing in the morning. It wasn't no warm up. I started warming up later, in like lately, because I'm older now, and I really want to take care of this gift. But there are times, when I'm not always there, but there's more ways to get to one direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to reroute, and I think as long as you're singing with feeling, that's the only thing that matters. I will tell anybody, that if you're sitting in church and somebody, they may have all these wonderful riffs and runs, but you don't feel nothing.
Right.
But baby, you might get that mother sitting on the front row with old scratchy voice, and she's anointed.
Right.
Oh baby, it's gonna touch you. So
Right.
for me, it's like I always ask God to touch my voice. And for me, I have this thing, I call it the triangular effect, meaning that I pray and ask God to bless my voice, and I send what I do up to him. He touches it and it goes to the people. They're touched by it, they send it back to me. And so it's like the synergy that happens. And it's amazing. So I never, for me, hey, I'm a Christian, and I'm not ashamed. And I always make room for God. When I make room for God in my life, God shows up. And I need him and want him to show up in everything that I do. I even remember a quote from Quincy Jones one time. He said, no matter what you're doing, he said, leave room for God to step in the room.
Right.
So when God steps in, he puts his super on your natural, and it becomes bigger and better than anything that you can do on your own. But when God touches it, it's going to be something very, very special.
He puts his
that's a
super
quote.
on your
He puts
natural.
his super on your natural.
Super on my natural, Lord.
Yes.
As Shaquille O'Neal would say, put that on a T-shirt.
Underdog, put that on a T-shirt.
Super on my natural. That's right.
The super on your natural. Put
That
that on a
That's
T-shirt.
it. That's
Yes.
it.
That's
it.
also
See,
the
that's when
tagline
the
for
magic
Afro Sheen.
happens. That's when the anointing happens with his super on your natural. Absolutely.
What did you say, Ross? That was also what?
The tagline for Afro Sheen.
Okay.
And
Put your
then
super on your natural.
and then you need the Afro pick with the fist.
Oh, I got one. I got
That's
one
it.
for my beard. I got one for my beard.
Come on now.
Quit playing with me. I got one. I gotta ask you, young lady. So you say you start off in the church. Who in your family first recognized your gift? Who actually said, wait, stop, do that again? You know,
Probably mama. Probably my mother. You know, I could sing like a grown woman. You know, I think as long as I can remember walking and talking, I've always been able to sing. I mean, I remember being a little girl singing Dr. Feelgood. I had that hairbrush and the hairbrush in the mirror. Got a man by the name of Dr. Feelgood. Oh, takes care of all of my pains. And my mama said, baby, I know you don't know what you're singing about, but you sound like you do. Why don't you just leave that alone till you get grown? So, but I mean, I've always loved Aretha, you know, and Gladys. Oh, Gladys Knight, so soulful. You know, we had the hi fi back then, and you know, with the 45 with the little disc you put in the middle, and you know, you put the needle on the record to skip. You got to put a dime or something on it. Yeah, you know about that? Y'all old enough to know about that?
Yes.
And
we know a little something.
And I had
about
those big air traffic controller headphones. Now they call them Beats. Okay, they're Beats now. But we had those big old headphones, and I would sing along with Eric. And I always sang harmony. And so even like if I would be watching television and I would some music, I sing harmony. But that came from like just choir, you know, learning how to sing harmony. So that really helped a lot, you know, as an artist when I did most of my own background vocals on my record, you know, did all the harmony packages and things like that. Yeah,
we can hear it. We can definitely hear it.
I was in choir too, but I didn't get all that.
You weren't anointed like me and Shirley were.
Yes,
We're
clearly the other three squares here are anointed. I'm still waiting on.
But did they put you like way back in the back? Were you in the background?
I was in the back. I was in the back to the side.
By the door.
They just had me for the moves.
Oh, you were in the basement? Oh, okay, yes.
I could just lock down the moves.
So you were in the choir, but you didn't acquire that super on your natural.
No, there was no super on my natural.
Okay.
They did ask me to sing solo one time.
Did you pray hard?
I prayed
a little harder, baby.
I tell you, Miss Murdock, I tell you what I did. I prayed to get out of it.
Did it work?
It worked. It worked.
He answers, don't it?
It worked.
All on he'll answer.
It did. They had me sing solo one time, and
so they couldn't hear you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's got a million of them, ladies. She got a million of them.
You can't play with a pastor. She got an answer for everything. I tell you right now. I love this.
All right. Once again, you're watching IRTS Live. In case you missed this from the beginning, when we're done, about 5 minutes after, click the same thing that you're looking on now. You can see the show all over again from the beginning, and you're going to want to watch because she's been dropping knowledge on us all night. We got a little bit more time with her, so we got to hurry up and get through a few more songs. So because it's late back there in Toledo, or I'm sorry, you're in Spring. Dayton. Okay. Dayton. Sorry about that. It's late back east. So we're gonna get you going with some more songs and keep having some fun. Go ahead, Flash.
Okay.
So can I take you to church? Can I take you to church?
Take me to church. I love you to church.
Don't wait till the battle is over. Don't wait till the victory is won. Just remember whatever God promised, it's yours and it's already done. So don't wait. Shout now. Yeah. Shout now. Shout now. Shout now. Shout now. Shout now. Don't wait. Shout now.
Shirley, I get the feeling that you're a lot of singers' favorite singer. I bet you're one of those people, huh? You're a lot of singers' favorite singer.
Well, I tell you, I've had a lot of singers tell me that, and I'm honored because I know what it feels like. The way I felt about Gladys Knight and Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder, all the singers, for somebody to feel that way about me, it's amazing. It's really an honor. So different ones. I'm not going to say who, but different ones. But I just feel very honored because I know how I felt. About people. For somebody to feel that way about you, it's really a gift that they give you. But Shout Now is a song that I wrote for that was my choir, the Solid Rock Fire Choir, and it's amazing because someone sent me a YouTube of like a Southern Baptist version of it. So different people have they've remade Shout Now. There are different versions of it, but that was a hand clapping, foot stomping, good time. Shout Now, and the message is, basically, you don't have to wait till the battle is over. Shout now, put in a praise deposit for what you believe in God for. Can the church say amen?
Amen.
Amen. We're here with you. We are here with you.
Amen.
Well,
yeah.
Twin.
We got Deacon Ben and Deacon CJ Flash, and we got Sister Pastor Jerry Love in the house. Jerry Dove in the house.
I thought you said.
And Sister Sherry somewhere around there listening.
Yeah, you can hear.
She upstairs praise dancing right now.
Yes, she is. Yes, indeed.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting your praise on now.
No, you're not at all.
Amen.
Go ahead, Flash. Go ahead.
This is a super duper curveball.
Okay.
I love you, but God, He loves you better. So much war and poverty. I wish that you could rest your head on me to kiss each other's tears away. Keep all your fears at bay. Home as soon as possible. Remind you of the golden rule. See your son and daughter's eyes, and in them I keep hope alive. Soldier girl, sleep there with the angels. Soldier girl,
wow.
Keep you safe from danger. Soldier girl, we gon' always be together. I love you, but God loves you better.
Wow.
You had his word for a minute there. Now I'm like, wait, that is her song, right? Because you look like you didn't know that one.
That was me and Tina Marie.
Oh yes.
Soldier.
Yes.
We met. I had an opportunity, my schedule permitted for me to go out with Zab, and we were somewhere in Michigan. I remember it might have been like Flint, Michigan, and they were opening for Tina Marie, and we had a chance to meet, and we just clicked right away, and I remember because she also her and her group, they also prayed, before they would go on stage, and asked us to join them in their group prayer, and she was saying that she wanted to start a girl group with me and her, and we hadn't figured out who the other person was, so we never got a chance to do that before she passed on and went to be with the Lord. But when we get to heaven, we gonna finish that girl group. But she called me and asked me to be to sing on this album, and I was just touched and honored to have an opportunity to do it. And it was Soldier. She wanted to pay tribute to the men and women who were sacrificing and to serve our country, to keep us safe. And so it was a powerful song called Soldier.
Yeah,
and to sing that with Tina Marie. And I was invited to be to come to make sure that I could be there for her homegoing service. I flew to LA for her homegoing service, and we had prayer with her friends and family, so yeah, so just a remarkable artist.
Yes.
songwriter, singer, musician, and so, but yeah, we're gonna get that girl group together when we get to glory.
That's it.
You know what? If I
Yeah.
had a way back machine, I would go back to that moment and I would suggest that third member be Ann Nesby.
And
Oh,
Nesby.
love Ann. Love
That-
Ann.
Wow, that would have
She's
been
a
wow.
wonderful,
That would have been ridiculous.
wonderful woman. I love her and her husband Tim. It's just good to meet good people, and
Mhm.
there are some really wonderful people in this industry. I have really great friends I've known over the years, and we, there's no cat fights or anything like that. A lot of times the women can't get together. That's not true. People in my era, we were like my good friend Regina Bell and Mickey Howard and all of us. We were just really great friends.
Kelly Price.
And Kelly, absolutely. No, Kelly redid one of my biggest hits, and let me tell you how about her. Kelly invited me when she did the video for the song. She invited me and flew me out to LA because she wanted me to be in the video. And if you go back and watch the video, I played the role of her mother. And there was a phone call, and I said to her, I said, baby, I know you think you love that man, but God's not going to give you somebody else's husband. And then the video starts.
Wow.
So when she loved the song so much, she didn't want to, talk about covers. She didn't want to deviate from the song, because she loved it so much and had so much respect for every part of it. But in the vamp, she got a chance to say some things, which I thought brought out the meaning of the song even more, because a lot of people don't know that I was not the first person to sing As We Lay. So it was a remake for me. Billy Beck from the Ohio Players, Larry Hatcher, who was a horn player for P-Funk, and Ray Davis, that low voice from Bow Wow Wow Yippee Yo Yippee Yay, Ray Davis. Those three gentlemen made up a group called The Human Body, and it was on Bearsville's record. Okay, and so Billy Beck, like I said, he sung it, he wrote it with Larry Troutman, and he sang it. And when they approached me to sing the song, I said, well, you want me to sing a song about adults? Church girl? And so I said, well, the only way that I will sing this song is if you let me add these lyrics. And what I added was, we should have counted up the cost, but instead we got lost in the second and the minute and the hour, because I didn't want to sing a celebratory song about infidelity. I wanted it to be a sad song about regret, because yes, the song is about life. People can identify it, whether it's vicariously or through personal experience. But I wanted I wanted to say, the moral I wanted to say was, there's a price tag attached to every decision that you make in life.
Yeah.
And what you do, it may feel good to you for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever, but the result is going to ripple effect on people in your life. What about the woman? What about the family? What if he has a daughter who's gonna grow up with trust issues because dad stepped out on mama? So there's so many people. So it's like, it's important to not make a permanent decision based upon a temporary situation.
Right.
So so for me, it was really about the moral. We should have counted up the cost. I remember all this stuff. It says, I would never want to hurt her. She would never understand that you belong to me for just one night as we slept the night away. But what we should have done was counted up the cost before we got lost in the second, in the minute, and the hour, because of the consequences, because of who it's going to affect. And then the greatest follow-up was a song called Husband. It was never saying, go be a side piece. It was not saying, I want to get this woman's husband. It says, I'm a lady with class. I know my desire will pass. This cannot occur. You're that lady's husband, so I'm letting you go. So I've always sung songs about life, but deep down, get down to the ugly part of it. But yet there needs to be a moral. Don't sing about it just for the sake of singing. What is the moral? What is the lesson? So, if you found yourself in an As We Lay situation, this situation, you may be faced with the temptation again, but what are you going to do this time? You can make a better choice, better informed. You have more knowledge, a better opportunity to do something better for yourself, and other people. So I've always sing songs about life, whether it's a gospel song or whether it's, going without you, you lose somebody very important in your life, but then you realize just the beauty of getting it back again and now holding on to it, and don't make that mistake again. Don't be crazy. Don't be stupid. Don't lose it again. Get the wisdom out of it. Take that wisdom to the next situation and the next decision.
That Shirley Murdock, she's a good talker. She's a good talker, that Shirley Murdock, I tell you. Flash, you got the song that we've been talking about for the last couple of seconds here?
We got a bunch of songs.
Okay, we ain't got time for a bunch of songs.
Okay,
You know?
how much time we got?
We got to do part 2. We got to come back for
Well, we
part
can
2.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
Well, when you come out, when we bring you out here to work at Yoshi's, that's when we can do part
I'd
2.
love to.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
That'd be great.
let's do some of them hits, and then I can think of 3 in my mind that I'm thinking about. I'll send
Okay,
you a
well,
message.
here's one of those 3.
Let's go.
You told me things, and I believe them all. You disappeared at times, but that didn't matter at all. Those lonely nights, waiting for your call. I didn't know it was then. You were someone's husband. My desire for you is strong, but I want the wrong. You're that lady's husband. My decency prevails, yes it does, and it won't let.
Yeah, you touched on that one a little earlier. So
Mhm.
beautiful songs, man.
Yeah, Larry Troutman and Roger wrote that, and I thought it was a great follow up, to As We Lay.
Big hit.
Oh
Big
yeah,
hit. Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
Very.
yeah, top 10. I think it was number 5. I think it was
Yeah.
number 5 on the R&B.
Nice. So every show you do, I know you got to hit these songs, right, kid? You can't walk off the stage
Absolutely,
without doing
I
this.
better.
They'll come back and get you. They'll be two-stepping
better.
on you all day long. Huh?
That's right. They do 2-7 and hating.
Yeah. Where you
But,
think you're going?
yeah, so definitely, I definitely have to go on without you, husband, As We Lay, and for sure, those are the 3 I have to do. And then sometimes I do Computer Love, and sometimes I do a cover. I might I love Ain't Nobody, by Chaka Khan.
Oh, okay.
So different ones, yeah. So do some covers sometimes. So just depends on how long, how long the show has to be. But definitely As We Lay. And I always do a gospel song because I always want to leave them not only entertained but also encouraged. Because we need it. We just need it in our lives.
Yes,
we do.
You mean like
Yes,
this
we
one
do.
here?
Father, help your children. Don't let them fall by the side of the road. No, 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 no. Teach them to love one another. That heaven might find a place in the heart. Jesus is love. He won't let you down.
Yeah.
I love that song. I mean, that song, and I kid you not, every time I hear that song, it makes me just want to cry. And I don't know why that one touches me so much. Your version, Lionel's version, it just makes me want to cry when I hear that song. That is so beautiful.
It's a beautiful song, and it's a song I think that the world needs to be reminded. That we do need God. We need Him to teach us to love one another. We need more of that. There's so much vitriol, so much negativity going on in the world, and that factoid. That was the song that Roger heard me sing on for the very first time. I was traveling with a crusade based out of Columbus, Ohio, and so we would go all over the country for a week at a time and stay in the city and do a crusade. And so we would also taped it on a cassette tape. So you can see how far back that was. But my mother had my cousin Jill worked for Troutman Enterprises in Dayton. And she came to visit Toledo, visit my mom, my family, and everybody in our family know that I could sing. And said, well, what's Shirley do? What's so-and-so do? Well, Shirley, she's traveling, she's ministering and everything. And I got laid off. Oh, so anyway, so she begged my mom to give her a copy of the cassette tape, and she took it back to Dayton, Ohio, and let Roger and Larry Troutman hear it. And they were like, does she want to make records? So when I got home, my family, they were geeked up. Ooh, Jill came to visit, Roger Troutman and Zapp. I'm like, well, who's Roger and what's Zapp? I mean, I wasn't really, I mean, I heard songs on the radio, but I couldn't, not enough to know who it was or what, who the artist was and all that. So then I walked around asking musicians, you know anything about Roger and Zapp? They're like, yeah, everybody knew me, duh. And so I went to Dayton and I talked to Roger and Larry, and I told them, I said, well, see, I've had, throughout my life, I had many chances to sing R&B, but I turned it down because I thought I was supposed to sing gospel, And so I told Larry and Roger, thank you, but no thank you. They said, well, I want to sing gospel. They didn't have any connections in that area. They said, but if you ever want to give it a try, we want to help you. So I left there, guys, saying, God, why is this the only door that's opening for me? Anything, no gospel's coming. The only thing that's coming is mainstream. So I'm like, well, God, could this be you? Could this be the door that you're opening for me? So after much prayer and talking to my family, I walked by faith through the open door. And I wasn't going to leave God or leave church or my relationship with God to do it. Because no matter what job I had, whether I worked for JCPenney's or whether I worked for a jewelry store, my spiritual life, who I am as a Christian, doesn't change with wherever he places you, right?
That's right.
So our main thing is to be faithful in your station wherever God plants you, just be your authentic self. So I prayed about it, and I had peace about making this decision. And so, like I said, I walked by faith through the open door, and the rest is history.
That's right.
but that was the song that he heard me singing.
Yeah.
And then when Ben Tankard invited me to sing on that song, I got a little verklempt. I got a little misty because of just the memory, because Roger had passed away by that time. And just to think like, this is the song that Roger heard me sing on, So all of those feelings, all of that is on that record. It's recorded in time. So if you, whatever I felt, if I felt the anointing, it's on that record. That's what you feel. If you feel those goosebumps, it's been recorded in time. And when you play it back, it's been captured. So all of those feelings that I had, that's what you're feeling. So maybe it brings you to tears because I had tears as well while I was singing. Yes. So it's amazing, but it's been a song that's been very successful. It stayed on the charts for I think years, like with Sirius Radio. There's the evidence right there on the Wild Gospel. It's amazing. So I'm really it's a very sentimental song for me. And to receive a gold album for it too, it's just wow.
So if any of you have not heard Shirley Murdock's version of Jesus is Love, make sure you Google that as soon as the show is over, and you'll be like me. Just sit there, get your Kleenex ready, because it just touches my spirit, man.
Yes, go to iTunes and purchase it.
That's right.
Well, that too, especially.
Yes.
Or find a cassette. Get the cassette. Buy that. She's talking a whole lot about cassettes. She must have heard some at home.
Vinyl's hot again these days.
Vinyl's hot and cassettes are making a comeback, brother.
Yes.
Yes, Sony reintroduced the Walkman.
Uh-oh.
Did they?
Should have kept mine.
Okay.
You still got batteries in that the last one you had.
She said she worked at JCPenney. She got some Radio Shack batteries or something like that. So.
Tandy.
Remember Radio Shack? You had to go. Why you have to go in the Radio Shack and give your name, your address, your phone number, just before you go buy? I just want to buy some batteries, man.
Look, Radio Shack was a DJ's best friend.
That's right.
It is gone now.
It's gone.
There are no Radio Shacks.
Well, when you go to Cabo, you'll see a Radio Shack out there.
That's true. That's
probably
right. That's
so right.
Cabo, Los Cabos.
CJ Flash found a PS5 at in Mexico.
Look, I'm not surprised what CJ Flash will find. Okay, because he's an archaeologist.
You're right.
He digs deep and go get it.
You're right. Listen, here's what's going to happen for all of you that are watching. We got one more song from Miss Shirley Murdock, we're going to play that. Well, we're going to come back after we let her go. Then we're going to come back and we're going to recap the Stone Soul concert, which happened just this past Sunday. That featured Kim, that featured Fantasia.
You're wasting time.
Robin
we can play
Thicke.
2 songs right now.
Okay, well, go ahead. I just didn't want people to leave after we
They're
left
not
her.
gonna leave.
Now before
I
I
love
even
the
say
Stone
that.
Soul. I've been there before. It's nice.
Oh, you
It's
have?
wonderful.
Okay, all right.
See?
You might need to be part of the recap. But let me say this too. I know you're in some plays and everything too. Are you in one right now? You're currently in a play?
No, well,
Or were you-
I had one that's going to be in LA, but they had to move the date. But I have all that on my social media. So
Okay.
I'm on Instagram, and that's it's Shirley Murdock, the number 4, real REAL. I'm on Twitter at Shirley Murdock. I'm also on Facebook as well,
Okay.
and have a
I will
YouTube page too.
find out all about your theater performance. How do
I
you like
love
being
it.
on stage? You like that?
I love it. It's probably one of the dream come trues for little girl Shirley. You know, watching them Shirley, the black and white Shirley Temple movie. I
Right.
said one day that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be Black Shirley Temple.
That's
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
That's right.
Okay, and I see you done some work with Cuba Gooding Jr., David Peaston, Johnny Gill,
Yes.
Robin Gibbons, and
Yes.
Eddie LeBert. You've done different shows with all these folks, right?
Yes, we did Candy Burris's play called
Mhm.
A Mother's Love.
Mm.
We did Mama's Boy with Johnny Gill and Robin Gibbons and nephew Tommy and just so many Jack A. Harry.
Wow.
I've done a lot of the plays I've done. We have become films. You can if you go to the IMB, you can find all of my film work there too. So it's amazing. Like the things that all the dreams that I've had as a little girl have come to fruition. I've got one more, and that's to do Broadway.
Nice.
It's coming. It's
Come on.
coming.
Come
Did
on,
I hear
Cletus.
you
We said it
say-
before. Come on, Cletus.
Did I hear you say David Peaston?
Yes.
Yes, he was a
David
dear
Peaston.
friend of
Wow.
mine.
I hadn't
Oh,
thought
I
about
love
David
David
Peaston.
Peaston.
What
David
a voice.
Peaston. Yeah.
What a
He was
voice.
like a gentle giant. You know,
Yeah.
I borrowed something that he used to say. He said, "Bless your heart and all your parts." Bless your heart and all
Ah,
your parts.
that's him.
And I got that from David Peaston. And he would say, "Has he ever?" Talking about God, you know, if you talk about something, he said, "Well, has he ever? Like, has he ever let you down? He's
Right.
never let you down. Has he ever?" And he was just a remarkable, just a wonderful, sweet man.
Wow.
That's good. That's
Wonderful,
good to
man. I
hear.
missed him.
I never met him, but I always liked his music. I liked him
And funny.
I liked him and Phil Perry. Those are
Phil
two.
Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perry can
yeah,
sing
for
too.
sure.
He can sing.
Absolutely.
All right, Flash.
We doing 2 or 1?
1.5, because it's
Okay.
late back there. I promise her we need to have her here this long. But go ahead.
I'm
1.5.
good. I'm a night owl.
Okay, well then do the 2, and then we're gonna let her go. Do the 2.
Okay.
I love me better than that.
I like this.
Yeah,
I like this.
I'm going to get my life back. Mm. As I look in the mirror, a broken woman I see, broken down by the streets of life's journey. That broken woman is me. So I take me a little ride back down memory lane, past the verbal and the physical abuse and all the trauma and the pain. I've got to bleed from this crazy situation, 'cause it's driving me insane. Now I'm packing up all of my broken pieces and the little bit of strength that remains, 'cause I love me better.
I like that one. I'm glad you got that one in there, Flash.
I love you better than that. I wrote that song because I wanted to empower women, empower people who were feeling, who were being abused physically, mentally, emotionally. I wanted to arm them to take back everything that was taken from them, everything the devil ever stole from you. It's time to get it back. Take your joy back, your peace back, your dreams back. Take your keys back, take your credit card back, whatever you need to take back, take it back. Because and it came from ministering in the women's prisons, or even like women's conferences, where on the outside sisters look good, but on the inside tore up from the floor up. It had, and we know how to mask and look like everything is all right. But I wanted, like I said, just give them an anthem, a theme song, and it's for men too, because men have been abused as well. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Just to know that you are valuable, and to not let people, not let your validation come from people. If you give people the power to validate you, you give them the power to cancel you. Your validation comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. That's why we got to start with our young people, letting them know that just how valuable they are. So when the negativity comes, they can combat that with something positive that's already in their spirit that says, hey, you know, I'm talented, you know, I'm worth it, you know, I'm talented, you know, I'm important. I matter to somebody. Every kid deserves somebody's eyes to light up whenever they come into the room, you know, and people need that. That's why I think young people are gravitating toward gangs, because they're just looking for a sense of belonging, that sense of family. And the family structure has been broken down throughout the generations. There's no grandma, there's no auntie, there's no neighbor who would correct you, you know, and you get in trouble, you know, with them. And then you get in trouble again when mama found out that you got in trouble. So, but just that sense of community, we need to try to rebuild that back. And it really starts with our families, and then it grows outward.
Tell them again where they can find you.
You'll be happy to know little Cavassier is listening right now. Cavassier has heard everything you said.
Give her a new name. She's beautiful.
No, she's CV.
You're right. You can find me on social media on Twitter at Shirley Murdock. I have a Facebook page as well. And on IG, it's at Shirley Murdock, the number 4 real, REAL.
And tell them where they can find you preaching.
At Second Baptist Church in Springfield, Ohio. That's 615 Wittenberg Avenue in Springfield, Ohio. Or you can go to prayingforyou.org. Praying, PRAYNG, the number 4YOU.org. That's our Facebook and our website.
I think I can listen to you talk all night about what you're talking about. And I will also want to add that video for I Love Me Better Than That is amazing too. It's a beautiful video.
Thank you.
I especially like the end where you guys put that snap on and turn around and walk out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
real cool like that. So really well done. So well done. So
much.
Look, we got time for one more song with you, and then we're gonna let you go. But just again, I like to go around the horn here and let everybody say thank you to you. So I'm gonna start with you, Russ, and you go ahead and say what you want to say.
This evening was a blessing. I've been going through a lot right now, and this right here, this is exactly what I needed. So, sister, thank you so very much for blessing us today. I appreciate it.
Yes, CJ Flash.
Words are powerful, very powerful, and the words that you speak are of life, of love, of high vibration. So thank you. The words you sing are the same. So thank you. Appreciate you. Really.
And I've written down so many of your Shirley-isms, and I just feel like you've done exactly what I want this show to do. I want this show to be just me and my friends sitting around talking about music and what it means to us. Like we're in the living room where we just say, come on and have a seat. And that's how you've made us feel, and we really appreciate that. And I know the audience out there appreciate it as well. So
and put some super on your natural.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
And I've got a book that I'm writing. It's called Cheryl's Pearls. So all those little ism things like that, little things that my mama said, you know, mama and them. So be on the lookout for that.
All right, so now look, you done already told our audience that you can come back for part 2. So when we're gonna bring you to the Bay,
I love to.
Come back and talk about the book.
Come to Yoshi's.
We'll come back and talk about the book too.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
And anything you want. So, like you said earlier, you cannot leave a stage without doing this song, and so we can't leave this show without doing this song. So, but when he's done with his song, we're gonna go to commercial. We're gonna come back and talk about Stone Soul. So don't hang up.
Okay.
But thank you, Shirley. Go ahead, Flash.
Thank you.
Morning, and we slept the night away. It happened. Now we can't turn back the hands of time. Yes, we've stolen this moment. We forgot to face one simple fact. We both belong to someone else. As we slept the night away, it's more Sunlight shines across your sleeping face. A new day brings reality, and we must go out.
Thank you, Shirley. Get it, Russ. We'll be right back after. Shirley, good night. Have a great night. Thank you again very much. And we're going to get your address. We're going to send you one of them shirts that he's wearing right there, just like you want, okay? All right, thank you. We'll be right back in about a minute or so.
IRTS Live is brought to you by CDove HR Consulting Group, the human resources specialist, providing personalized service to building a better tomorrow. Enjoy the difference. Check out gdovedesigns.com to get t-shirts and hoodies that make a statement. Join DJs Big Russ and CJ Flash for the world-famous show live Fridays, noon to 4 Pacific. Catch them on the following social media platforms. And if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, please email us at info@irtsshow.com.
We are back. That was a great show with Shirley, but I just had to go through here and go through Stone Soul. Shirley, I see you still in the green room, but we're going to go ahead and let you go to sleep. So I'm going to move here. So, okay. So
She wanted to come
She wanted to come back. She said,
did you want to come back?
Yeah, let her come back.
She said, well, she said, all right.
Yes.
I gave you every chance to say good night, and you said, she didn't know how to find a way out of the room. So
right.
She was like, I saw her like, oh, we're still here. Okay, we're just gonna do a quick recap. We had a big, and you said you've been there, so it's a major concert put on by our man Lionel B from Bay Area Productions. It kind of kicks off the summer concert season. These two fellas that you were on the show with, the almighty DJ CJ Flash and Russell Gaywood, are big part of that whole show. It's always like 5 or 6 acts. Sometimes it's 2 days. They are the show between the show, as I brag on my brothers here, and they keep the thing going. Sometimes the artists look out from behind the curtain and say, what is going? Tell them to stop. Tell them to stop. I ain't gonna follow that. So Russell is also a great photographer. He takes some beautiful pictures. We call it the view from the DJ booth is what I call his shots and all like that. So he took 6 shots in particular that I wanted to show our audience who didn't get to go to Stone Soul. And by the way, I've definitely got some videos that you can see on the Stone Soul on the VIP Lounge at IRTS VIP Lounge on Facebook. So Russ, talk about, let's see who was here first. We started out with this man right here, Curtis Blow.
Yes, Curtis Blow. Celebrating 50 years of hip hop. He was there with 3 generations of the Blow family.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Is his name the Blow family? Okay. Okay.
And he had his
Courvoisier Blow. Okay.
He had three sons and his grandson on stage.
Okay.
And his wife. People didn't realize his wife was Cheryl the Pearl.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheryl the Pearl.
Okay.
He put it down. It was really very, very cool. And he had his testimony too, because he had a rough time about maybe 13, 14 months ago. He was on death's door, and he is, he did his thing, man. He had to leave. He went on first. He had to leave early because he had to get Steve Harvey his mustache back. But he was great.
Wait a minute. Well.
He was great.
Okay. All right. And after that, we saw Vivian Green.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes, and she was just as delightful as you would imagine.
Yes.
Sounding great. And I posted this, and she commented on my post because I said that I remember that she sounded as good as she did in 1997. And she said, "Thank you so much. This is sweet, but I didn't come out to 2002."
Oops.
How old you think I am, man? What's up?
So I had to edit my post, but she
Those
was
3 dots.
yes, exactly. And actually on that post, you can see another friend of our show, Timbisa Mshaka, and Vivian reconnected as a result of the post, and they're all connected again. So that was
good.
But she was great, along with her husband. Or are they married? I'm not sure, but they are definitely partners in love for sure. Kwame, Kwame was crazy. It was really cool. So he was kind of the music director for her show and DJ'd along. It was very cool. Very cool.
Next up at the Stone Soul concert was Stokely.
This cat.
That dude, man.
Yes.
He was all over the stage. I remember when I was that young.
Talk about it, CJ.
I remember when I was that.
I can honestly say, hands down, he is the most electric performer out there today. He's unmatched. His energy, his vocal ability, his stage presence, his musicianship, because he can play everything.
Yeah,
he's the consummate performer. Absolutely, hands down. He gave
and he's a good guy.
Right.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Very good and very gracious. Very gracious.
And he was working that stage, man. I mean,
there was only one person that the Revolution chose to play with them for the Prince tribute tour. And that was Stokely. Makes total sense. All
right, next up was a guy that we didn't know as we were sitting in the audience. I wasn't sure how everybody was going to respond to him because it's been a while since he's been out there. But when Robin Thicke hit the stage, there was 11,500 people there, and let's say 8,000 of them were women. There's like 8,000 pair of panties just was flying towards the stage. 8,000 pairs. My wife was just doing, hey, well,
hey.
I'm right here, Sherry.
But they were anointed panties.
Okay.
Yeah, so they could fly a little bit.
those were fire panties.
No.
That's fire panties. Wasn't no oil on that, baby.
Robin Thicke killed that show, man. I mean, I got to give that brother some credit. So again, if you go to the VIP lounge, I put about like 2.5 minute clip of him doing Blurred Lines, and he was all out in the audience and everything like that, and just he was killing it. I mean, he really there was a brother that would sit next to me just the whole time we were sitting there. I don't think he said 2 words to me. He just kind of thugged out and everything like that. Robin Thicke hit the stage. He's like, "Who that make a sing? Who that make it?" And I'm looking at his wife. I'm like, "Yo, your husband kind of like Robin Thicke, don't he?" He said, "Yeah, he does." She was like, she didn't know what to do, but I was really, really, really happy for him and impressed with him because he had listed all the things he's been through. You know, he got a divorce, he got sued, his father died, his manager died, his mentor,
Andre
Harrell died, his house burned down, all these things that were happening to him. And then he's back. So I was really happy for him. He did a good show. And that's a good shot right there. Robin Thicke. Okay.
Yeah.
And this girl right here. Fantasia.
Anointed.
Yes.
Faux show.
Yes.
Faux show.
Yes.
Love her.
She had. It is rare that you at that time of the show because she's coming on right before the headline, and it's a long day. Doors. You know, you've been doors open at 10:30. She had everyone on their feet for the entirety of her performance. She did a really fitting tribute to Tina Turner, and wow, she was outstanding. Outstanding.
Now the headliner was Kim, and I didn't find a picture that you posted of him. I guess you guys are breaking down by that time, but Kim was cool. I can just say I love the suit he was wearing. This orange thing with a little pinstripe on the side. I said, "Ooh, I could wear that." So,
of course you did. I'm surprised you didn't wear it today.
No, man. You don't know what I got on underneath there. You don't know what I'm wearing. No. You don't know.
Sherry's upstairs right now sitting on that suit because she did not want you to embarrass you.
Oh my god.
Don't embarrass me in front of them peoples.
That suit was fire. That suit was fire. I don't care what you say.
Yeah,
that suit
was fire. Nights like this, I wish
Y'all go to the VIP lounge and check out Kim. He was
5
killing it.
heartbeats.
Yeah. There you go, adding in again, Shirley. There you go. Adding in.
I am family now.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my sister Shirley right here. What you talking about?
All right. Always on me.
Question for you,
Always
Miss
me.
Shirley Murdock. I just wondered,
I got you.
have you ever thought about remaking Hello Barbara? This is Shirley.
No. but people come up to me, you know, and quote that. I say that's Shirley Brown.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yes.
wondered.
It's
I'm
like
sure you
right
get
church,
it.
right church, wrong pew.
Right.
Right, sure. That's funny. I'm
Hey,
writing that one down
church
too. Writing that
ticket
down.
comes out to, you know.
Right, church.
Wrong pew.
Coming soon to Barnes and Noble near you. With some more of these Shirleyisms.
Shirleyisms.
There you go.
Shirleyisms.
All right, so look, that was a recap of Stone, so we had to talk about that. So again,
Wait, Kevin
very
Brown.
much.
Cousin Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown.
Was there too, yes.
Kevin
For
Brown.
those in the Bay Area that have not seen him in a few years, he was there hosting the majority of the show. And Lionel B gave him a nice award at some point in the afternoon. It was great. It was a good vibe out there that day. And it rained a little bit for some reason, but then it stopped. And so, but we had a good time.
And you got to give it up to Dr. Dolores Thompson.
Dr. D.
Killing it. She came out and just killed it. She did great.
Mm-hmm. And you guys, like I said, you guys once again were fantastic. So that is going to do it for tonight. We're going to be back again next week at this same time, 7 p.m. Pacific time, with another show like this. Probably not as good as this one. It couldn't be as good as this one, but we're going to do our best we can, and I'm sure I guess. So again, if you miss any part of this or you just want to watch it all over again, and why wouldn't you? As soon as the show is done, wait about 5 minutes, click the same thing that you look on it now. You can see it all the way from the beginning. It'll be on our YouTube page at IRTS Show, and that's it.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh my God!
Just one more
yes,
thing.
sir.
I'm blessed to be with this brother right here. It's just announced today that we're opening up for Kim on Friday at the Mountain Winery.
Yes.
But we don't have to wear the suits. We don't have to wear a suit.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You didn't read the rider.
It's not in my contract.
I wrote the contract. You didn't read the rider. So you
I have my breakaway just on standby.
Oh, no.
All right. And with that, I will say good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, Miss Murdock.
Yes.
Thank you.
My pleasure. God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I had fun. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Take care, everybody. God
IRTS
bless.
Live is I Remember That Song. Live. IRTS Live is music, plus conversation, plus education, plus fun. Join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Watch the IRTS Live team talk about music from your favorite artists. And we've got celebrity guests too. Created and hosted by Jerry Dove and joined by a team of the industry's finest. Put IRTS Live in your favorites right now, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7.